Have you ever thought you were eating healthy? Until your doctor looked you in the eye and said, your bones are weakening and your heart needs more omega-3s. That was me. I tried to do everything right, less salt, less fat, calcium pills, heart-healthy meals. But still, I felt tired, stiff, foggy. Some days my knees would ache for no reason. And then one morning climbing the stairs, I felt my legs almost give out. Later, the doctor glanced at my blood work, then asked something that caught me off guard. Do you eat sardines? I actually laughed. Sardines. You mean that cheap, fishy stuff in cans? I hadn't touched those in years. But what I didn't know is, sardines are one of the most powerful, underrated superfoods out there, packed with calcium, omega-3s, vitamin D and more. The problem I, like most people, was eating them completely wrong. I drained the oil, tossed the bones, chose water-packed versions because I thought they were healthier. And by doing that, I was throwing away the very nutrients my aging body desperately needed. In this video, I'll walk you through 10 shocking mistakes almost everyone makes when eating sardines, and more importantly, how to fix them with just a few simple changes. Don't dismiss sardines just because they're small or cheap. Don't rinse off the flavor or throw out the golden oil. Watch until the very end because I'll be sharing a simple 7-day sardine meal plan that could support your heart. Strengthen your bones and fuel your brain, no drastic changes needed. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's uncover the truth about one of the most misunderstood foods on your shelf. Let me ask you something. Why do you think sardines are so unpopular, especially among older adults? It's not because they're unhealthy. It's not because they're expensive. It's because we've been conditioned to think cheap means low quality, and canned means less nutrition. But those ideas, they've been robbing people of one of the most powerful affordable health tools in the grocery store. Think about it, sardines are naturally low in mercury, unlike tuna or mackerel. They're loaded with calcium, protein, omega-3s, and essential vitamins like D and B12, and they come pre-cooked, pre-portioned, and shelf-stable. It should be a no-brainer, so why aren't more people eating them? Because most people have made the same honest mistakes I made. We buy the wrong type, we store them poorly, we rinse away nutrients, we toss the parts that are actually healthiest. And worst of all, we never learned how to enjoy them the right way. I used to think sardines were bland, mushy, or too salty. Now I know it wasn't the fish, it was how I handled them. In the next section, I'll break down each mistake one by one and show you exactly how to turn sardines into a meal you'll actually look forward to. I'm going to show you the hidden gems no one talks about, like the oil most people throw away, or the bones that are actually better than any calcium pill you'll ever take. Stay with me because once you see how small changes unlock massive benefits, you'll never look at sardines the same way again. Mistake number 10, throwing out the bones. The hidden power you're tossing away. Let me take you back to a moment I still regret. I was 72, sitting at my kitchen table, carefully pulling the tiny bones out of my sardines, thinking I was being cautious, refined, even smart. Who wants to chew on bones? I thought. But a month later, during a routine checkup, my doctor said something that shook me. Your bone density is declining faster than we'd like. Are you getting enough calcium and vitamin D? I blinked. I take supplements. I eat greens. He looked at me kindly and said, You eat sardines, right? Yes, I smiled, proud of myself. Do you eat the bones? No, I take them out. He paused, then said something I'll never forget. You're throwing away your best source of calcium and one that comes with its own vitamin D to help you absorb it. I was stunned. The bones in sardines are not dangerous, not hard, not unpleasant. They're pressure cooked during the canning process, soft enough to blend into the fish. You barely notice them. But they're nutritional gold, high in calcium, over 30% of your daily needs per serving. Rich in vitamin D, critical for your bones, teeth, muscles, and nerve function as you age. Eat the whole sardine, bones and all. Don't remove what your body is craving. You won't taste the bones. You'll only feel stronger, steadier, and more confident in every step you take. Have you ever removed the bones from your sardines? Type what John used to in the comments. No shame, we've all been there. What matters is what you do next. Mistake number 9, choosing water-packed instead of oil-packed. Why lighter isn't always healthier. I used to be proud of my choices at the grocery store. I'd look at 2 sardine cans side by side, one packed in oil, the other in water, and always grab the water-packed one. Fewer calories, less fat. Must be better, I thought. It felt smart, responsible, especially at my age. But here's what no one told me. That healthier choice was quietly robbing me of flavor, nutrients, and the reason I was eating sardines in the first place. Sea sardines are naturally full of healthy fats, especially omega-3 fatty acids. These fats help lower inflammation, protect your heart, support your brain, and keep joints moving smoothly. When sardines are packed in high-quality oil, those omega-3s stay protected and preserved. The oil acts like a natural shield, keeping everything rich, moist, and flavorful. But in water, the flavor fades, the healthy fats oxidize, the fish dries out and sometimes tastes metallic, and worst of all, you lose the very nutrients you were hoping to get. Fix choose sardines packed in extra virgin olive oil. The difference is night and day in taste, in texture, in how your body responds. I remember the first time I tried oil-packed sardines after years of water-packed. I didn't just taste better fish, I felt better digestion, less joint stiffness, and a sense of satisfaction I hadn't had in months. Have you ever bought sardines in water thinking it was healthier? Type yes in the comments. Let's be honest, because smart health begins when we challenge old habits. Mistake number 8. Leaving opened sardine cans in the fridge. Too long. A slow spoil. You don't notice until it's too late. I'll never forget the morning I opened the fridge and saw that half-used sardine can from 3 days before. I hesitated. It still smells okay, I told myself. I took a bite. The texture was off. The taste was dull. But I forced it down, didn't want to waste food. That night my stomach let me know I'd made a big mistake. Here's what I learned the hard way. Once a sardine can is opened, the countdown begins. Sardines are packed with delicate oils, omega-3s, that start to break down immediately when exposed to air. And as they oxidize, two things happen. The flavor becomes flat, metallic, or sour. The nutrients your body needs slowly disappear. Even worse, leaving them in the open tin speeds up the process. The metal reacts with air, causing a chemical taste and even potential health risks. Fix: only open what you'll finish within 2 to 3 days. Immediately transfer leftovers to an airtight glass or BPA-free plastic container. Refrigerate promptly, and after 5 days, toss it. Maybe no exceptions. Want to go longer? You can freeze sardines, but the texture will soften and you may lose some of the original charm. I used to think saving leftovers was being frugal, but I learned that saving them wrong is just wasting quietly both money and nutrients. Have you ever eaten sardines straight from the opened can days later? Type guilty in the comments if you've done it too. You're not alone, but now we know better. Mistake number 7. Ignoring expiration dates and storage rules. When shelf-stable doesn't mean immortal. I used to store sardines like they were indestructible. Back of the pantry right next to the stove, hot, humid, sometimes catching sunlight through the kitchen window. They're canned right, sealed, safe forever. At least that's what I thought until I opened one and the smell hit me like a punch. It was sour, metallic, wrong. What I didn't know then was this: canned sardines have limits, and how you store them matters more than you think. Yes, they can last for years if kept in a cool, dark, dry place. But if exposed to heat, light, or moisture, their natural oils break down faster, the can lining deteriorates, and bacteria may creep in. Here's another surprise: sardines packed in acidic sauces like tomato or mustard spoil faster than those in oil-dented, rusted, or bulging cans. Immediate red flag, no exceptions. Fix: store cans in a cool, dark cupboard away from the stove or direct light. Use sardines packed in tomato or sauce. First, they degrade faster. Inspect every can before opening. If it's bloated, rusted, leaking, or dented near seams, throw it out. Remember, sardines are one of the most affordable superfoods. Don't let poor storage turn them into a health hazard. Have you ever found a forgotten can of sardines in the back of your cupboard and wondered if it was still safe? Type I did in the comments. Let's talk about pantry rescue missions. Mistake number 6. Only eating sardines straight from the can and wondering why you're bored. I used to think sardines were just sardines. Open the can, eat them plain, maybe with a cracker if I was feeling fancy. It was quick, yes, but honestly, after a few weeks I started skipping them. The taste felt too repetitive, too fishy, too flat. One day my granddaughter walked into the kitchen, saw the can and asked, "Why don't you do something with it?" I blinked. Like what? 10 minutes later, she mashed the sardines with avocado, lemon juice, and a sprinkle of herbs and spread it on toast. I took one bite and realized I'd been eating sardines the most boring way possible for years. Here's what most people don't realize. Sardines aren't just a snack. They're an ingredient. They can add depth to pasta sauces, boost protein in omelets or stir-fries, turn a salad into a heart-healthy meal, even upgrade pizza or wraps with bold, savory flavor. And when paired with the right foods, whole grains, veggies, healthy fats, your body absorbs the nutrients even better. Fix starts simple. Try mashing sardines with yogurt or olive oil for a creamy spread. Add chopped onions, capers, or herbs. Toss into whole grain pasta or add to eggs in the morning. Sardines are shockingly versatile if you give them a chance. Have you ever used sardines in a hot meal or recipe? If yes, type chef mode in the comments. If not, type need ideas. I'll share more. Mistake number 5. Thinking all sardines taste the same and giving up after one bad can. I still remember the first time I tried sardines. It was a random brand packed in water from a dusty shelf at the back of a dollar store. I opened the can, took one bite, and nearly threw it out. Dry, metallic, fishy. I pushed the plate away and told myself sardines just aren't for me. But years later, a friend handed me a can Portuguese sardines in olive oil packed fresh from the Atlantic. I was skeptical, but I tried it. It was like tasting a completely different food. Tender, flavorful, rich, almost buttery. And that's when I realized sardines aren't one flavor. They're a whole world. Where they come from, how they're caught, when they're packed, and what they're packed in all make a difference. Cold water sardines, like from Norway or Spain, tend to be firmer and milder. Warm water sardines can be softer, oilier, bolder. Spring-caught sardines are leaner, summer-caught are fattier and more flavorful. Tomato, mustard, olive oil, lemon, each transforms the taste entirely. Fix don't give up after one bad can. Try different brands, countries, and pack styles. Keep a little journal if needed, note what you liked or didn't. Eventually, you'll find your favorite. Have you found a sardine brand or flavor you love, or are you still searching, type found it, or still looking in the comments? Let's trade suggestions. Mistake number 4, pairing sardines with the wrong flavors and blaming the fish instead. Years ago, I made what I thought was a healthy dinner whole wheat pasta with sardines and a creamy garlic sauce. But when I took the first bite, my stomach turned. Too rich, too heavy. The sardines tasted overpowering, almost bitter. I pushed the plate aside and muttered, I guess I just don't like sardines. But I was wrong. It wasn't the sardines. It was what I paired them with. Sardines are bold by nature, savory, briny, deeply flavored. That's their strength. But like any strong ingredient, they need contrast, not competition. Rich sauces, cheese, or sweet glazes, they clash. They double down on heaviness. They make sardines feel like too much. What sardines really need is balance. Acid from lemon vinegar or tomato freshness from herbs like parsley or cilantro, crunch from raw veggies or sour pickles. These brighten and lift sardines, turning the flavor from too fishy to fresh and satisfying. Fix think. Mediterranean. Sardines love tomatoes, olives, onions, lemon, capers. Try them on toast with fresh herbs and a splash of lemon, or add to a crisp salad with vinegar and cucumber. It's not about hiding the taste, it's about letting it shine in harmony. Have you ever made a sardine dish that didn't turn out right? Type yes in the comments. And if you found the perfect combo, share it. You might inspire someone today. Mistake number 3. Rinsing sardines before eating and washing away the very thing you came for. I remember doing this the first time I bought sardines in oil. I opened the can, looked at the shimmering liquid and thought, that's way too oily, too salty. I'd better rinse this. I ran them under water, patted them dry, and felt proud like I'd made them healthier. But what I actually did was strip away months of carefully developed flavor and nutrition in seconds. See that oil or brine or tomato sauce isn't just there for storage. It's part of the process. Over time, the sardines and the liquid exchange nutrients and flavor. Omega-3s, fat-soluble vitamins like D and E, and even key minerals leach into the surrounding oil or sauce. When you rinse them, you're not just removing salt or oil. You're pouring nutrition down the drain. Worse, rinsing in water ruins the texture, making the fish slippery, mushy, and hard to work with. And salt. It's mostly already inside the fish, not just on the surface, so rinsing doesn't even help that much. Fix don't rinse. Instead, if you're worried about salt or richness, choose low-sodium varieties. Use less salt in the rest of your meal or drain lightly, but save the oil for cooking. We'll cover that in mistake number 1. Have you ever rinsed sardines thinking it made them healthier? If yes, type I did in the comments. Don't worry, it's one of the most common mistakes, but now you know better. Mistake number 2, avoiding sardines because they taste too fishy, when the problem isn't the fish. I used to say it all the time, I want to eat healthier, but sardines? No thanks. They're way too fishy. It became an excuse I believed for years. Until one day, a friend handed me a can packed in tomato sauce with lemon and herbs. "Just try it," she said. I did, and to my surprise it was clean, rich, savory. But not overpowering, not fishy at all. That's when I realized something important. It's not the sardines. It's how they're stored, prepared, or paired. When sardines taste too strong, it's usually a sign they're low quality, poorly stored, or combined with the wrong ingredients. Good sardines, especially those packed in olive oil or tomato, should taste briny, clean, and smooth. Even better, you can brighten them with a few simple touches. A squeeze of lemon, fresh herbs like dill or parsley vinegar, or crunchy vegetables. These cut through the richness and awaken the flavor, making each bite fresh instead of heavy. And here's something few people talk about. Your taste buds can adapt. The more you eat sardines, the more your palate begins to appreciate the depth, the subtle sweetness, the richness of the sea. Don't judge sardines by your first can. Try versions packed in sauces, citrus or oil. Add brightness with lemon or vinegar. Let your palate evolve. Have you avoided sardines because of the smell or taste? Type guilty if that was you, or converted if you gave them a second chance and changed your mind. Mistake number 1. Throwing away the precious oil and losing the most valuable part. This is the one that hurts the most, because I did it for years without even thinking. Every time I opened a can of sardines in oil, I'd pour the liquid straight down the sink. Too greasy, I thought. Too rich. It felt like the healthy choice. But then I learned the truth that oil isn't just filler, it's liquid gold. During the months sardines sit in the can, something magical happens. The fish and the oil exchange flavor and nutrients. Omega-3s, vitamin D, vitamin E, they leach into the oil. The oil becomes richer, deeper, and healthier than you can imagine. So every time I poured it out, I was tossing away heart-protective omega-3s, immune-boosting vitamin D, skin-supporting vitamin E, and a depth of flavor chefs would kill for. Save the oil. Use it. Respect it. Drizzle over toast or salad instead of dressing. Use it to saute onions or garlic, stir it into pasta rice or even soup, or dip crusty bread into it with herbs and lemon. This isn't about being frugal. It's about understanding where the real nutrition lives, not in pills or powders, but in the simple oil we throw away without thinking. Be honest, have you ever drained the oil and tossed it? Type I did if that was you. It's okay. We've all made this mistake. But from now on, we do better. After realizing how many mistakes I'd made with sardines, I didn't rush into eating them every day. I knew I needed a fresh start, something gentle, something realistic. So I created a 7-day plan. Not a diet, not a challenge, just a quiet rhythm I could ease into. And now, years later, I still follow it almost every week. Let me walk you through it the same way I would with an old friend. Day 1 and 2 were all about simplicity. I took 1 can of sardines in olive oil, placed them on whole grain toast, and added just a squeeze of lemon with a little chopped parsley. That's it. No fancy tricks. Just freshness and flavor. For the first time, I tasted what sardines should taste like: clean, savory, satisfying. I didn't miss the butter. I didn't miss the salt. On day 3, I wanted something creamy. I mashed the sardines with half an avocado, cracked some black pepper on top, and added a bit of lemon juice. I spread it on rye toast, and it felt like something from a cafe. Rich in omega-3s, fiber, potassium, and so good I made extra for a snack later. Day 4 brought me comfort. I boiled whole grain pasta, sauteed some garlic and onions, not in olive oil, but in the leftover sardine oil from the can. Then I added the sardines at the end, tossed in some cherry tomatoes, and sprinkled on herbs. The whole dish came together in 15 minutes, but felt like I had cooked all day. On day 5, I went fresh. I made a big Mediterranean-style salad with greens, cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, black olives, and sardines right on top. I dressed it simply lemon juice and the remaining sardine oil. Light, crunchy, deeply nourishing. It was exactly what my joints and digestion needed. Day 6 surprised me. I never thought to eat sardines for breakfast, but I scrambled 2 eggs, added chopped spinach, and half a can of sardines. Served it with toast and avocado. It gave me a clear head and steady energy all morning. Better than coffee. Day 7, I got curious. I tried a new variety: sardines in tomato sauce. I layered them onto a warm slice of bread with sliced onion and fresh basil. It tasted like something my grandmother might have made. Comforting, savory, bright. By the end of the week, I didn't feel like I was eating sardines. I felt like I'd rediscovered a powerful, nourishing food and made it mine. Along the way, I learned a few simple tricks. If sodium worries, you choose low-salt varieties and balance with plenty of veggies. If you have gout or kidney concerns, enjoy sardines 2-3 times a week and stay hydrated. If the smell bothers you, add lemon or vinegar or mix with herbs. It softens naturally. And if you get bored easily, try new sauces, pairings, or even sprinkle sardines on pizza. This 7-day routine isn't rigid, it's an invitation to explore, to nourish, to try again, but this time the right way. Would you give it a try? Type I'm in if this feels doable, or I'll try if you're curious to start small. Either way, you're already ahead. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you truly, because that tells me something about you. You're not here just for information. You're here because you care about your body, about your future, about making the second half of life not just longer, but better. And that's what sardines gave me. Not a miracle, not a cure, but a small, powerful daily act that reminded me I still have control over how I feel, move, and age. For years, I thought my aches, my foggy brain, my brittle bones were just part of getting older. But it turned out I was just missing key nutrients that my body had quietly been asking for all along. Calcium, omega-3, vitamin D, protein. They're not fancy, they're not new, but they matter more than we think, especially after 60. And sardines, when eaten right, deliver all of that in one small can. So here's my final message to you. Just give it 5 minutes a day. Open a can, make a simple toast, stir into a warm dish, drizzle the oil. You don't need a perfect meal plan, just a habit, a rhythm, a moment of care. It's not about sardines, it's about reclaiming your vitality one choice at a time. If this video helped you, please click like, not just for me, but so others your age can find it too. Subscribe for more tips on aging wisely, eating simply, and living fully. And leave a comment. What's the one change you're going to make this week? I'd love to hear. Thank you for being part of this, and remember, you're not too old to feel good again. You're just getting started.